Hey, Julie Roussel here. Hey, welcome to Wacky Wednesday, where you never know what the topic is going to be. And no, I can't say that I run exactly on time. I really don't. But hey, welcome and thanks for joining in. It is so great to see you, whether you are popping in live right now or you are catching on the replay. I'm so glad that you could join in for a little bit of outdoor lily garden conversation. As always, if you hear something that resonates with you or that you find valuable, leave me a little bit of love. Feel free to ask questions or even answer the question in the thread below. I'd appreciate it. I love to hear your thoughts and your perspective. Share the video with anyone you think it might help. And PM me if you have questions or just want to hear a little bit more. I'm always happy to share the things that I'm learning, and I really hope that they benefit you. So hey friends, welcome to Wacky Wednesday. It is so great to see you. Usually I miss you as you're popping in. So, it's probably because I am peeking at my nose or I'm keeping an eye on the activity on the other side of the camera there, making sure that there are no volleyballs coming flying in this direction. But welcome, and I hope that you enjoy the scenery here. A little bit peek of my other lily garden here, so I hope that you'll enjoy it, and I'll tell you which lilies are what in just a moment. But like I said, leave me a hey and let me know your thoughts on the lilies. If you saw my recent post about the fiery orange red gold one, it's right here. I have a double lily right here and a Sorbonne, or it's a Muscadet over there. So I will tell you about those in just a moment. Hey friends, I did miss you as you popped in. Welcome to Wacky Wednesday. I don't always see you when you pop in, but I'm glad that you could make it. So, like I was saying, the lovely Kaveri lily, it's this fiery orange red one right here. It's really pretty and very stunning, much more so than I ever imagined. But it's definitely a stunner. I absolutely love it. And over here, this lovely one back here, is going to be blooming shortly. That looks like one of my doubles right here next to the Kaveri. And then farther in this direction is my lovely Broken Heart. It's a brand new one. And then a little bit further back right here is the lovely Sorbonne. So hopefully you'll get to see them because they just opened and I'll be posting them tomorrow. But welcome friends, I appreciate you joining in, and I can't wait to share more of the varieties while I'm out here for videos as they bloom, and hopefully you can get a peek at them. So as always, oh, there you go. Hey Dean, it is great to see you. Thanks for the love. I am so glad that you were able to join in. I hope you and your family are doing well. I haven't heard from you in a while, so I'm glad to see that you're doing well. Okay, so as always, I will be asking a question, sharing a short story, what I learned, and hopefully how it can benefit you. So tonight, the question is, have you ever had to rebuild something? Your garden, in this example, a house, your life, a relationship, your career, whatever it happens to be. Have you ever had to rebuild something? And could you tell me what it was? In my case, many, but one of the ones that I'm talking about tonight is also why we're sitting here with some of my lilies. The double lily right here that's going to bloom, and the coloring should be spectacular. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So about 2 years ago, you might know this story, during a little bit of COVID quarantine time, when everything was closed, several garden pests destroyed almost all of my lilies here, almost all of them. And, some of them were my absolute favorites, and they had been here since we first moved here. They are absolute hallmarks of my lily bed and the centerpiece and everything, and I absolutely adored them. And I was absolutely devastated and shocked and upset and angry because I couldn't find any more of them. Everything was closed, and I wasn't certain that I'd be able to rebuild everything. And it felt like a huge part of me had been destroyed at the same time, just to see all of my lilies, eaten down to the bulb. It was horrible. I was really upset. And it felt like a huge part of me, like I said, had been destroyed. And I really didn't like that feeling at all. So I resolved, in a little bit of anger, and fueled by anger, I should say, that I was going to rebuild, but I was going to rebuild it better. That I was going to choose some new bulbs, that I was going to plant some new ones, some new varieties, some new colors. and try some new ones that I had always wanted to try but didn't have room for. And things grew, and some of these other ones that don't have blooms on them were Asiatic, and that's a whole nother story in itself, why I had so many Asiatics blooming over the last 2 years. Basically there was a mix-up and the company sent me the wrong ones, and well, you know, it was COVID, so they don't correct that. But anyways, like I said, I had chosen some new ones and not all of them came up, so I kind of have to rebuild again, for lack of a better word. And I'm not totally finished. Thankfully this spring, a lot of these lovely new bulbs that I planted, like the Kaveri here, the fiery red, orange, gold, which is just lovely, is blooming and it's gorgeous. But I feel like I still have to move some of these Asiatic lilies that are like right here behind my head and replant some of the other lilies that were supposed to be there 2 years ago, but it didn't work. And I still have to choose a few more new bulbs as well. And I'm about 2/3 of the way to my goal. I'm almost finished with rebuilding everything, you know, to my new goals, to my new ideas. Oh, hey Russ, it is good to see you. Welcome to Wacky Wednesday, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you and the family are doing well. And I see a few more joining in too. Welcome to Wacky Wednesday, friends. I'm glad that you could make it. But like I was saying, I'm very excited to see all of the new ones blooming because like I said, although I had seen pictures of the Kaveri and a couple of the other ones in the catalog, you know, I was curious to see what they look like in real life, and they're just as lovely. So I can't wait to see the remaining ones as they bloom as well. And I'm also excited, you know, knowing that my lily garden here and my other lily garden just around the corner here are almost to the point where it's finished. You know, it's a great feeling knowing that I'm almost done, but also happy with the progress and happy that, you know, there are lilies blooming there again. What can I say? And what I learned basically is that thanks for the love. Hey Toby, hey Jen, it is good to see you. Hey, there they are behind me. There's the new Kaveri one that I showed you. I've got a double lily gonna bloom here, and I've got a double that bloomed here and a new one that just opened here. So I hope that you like them. They're just as lovely in person, probably lovelier than I can show them in pictures. So I hope that you like them. But like I was saying, what I learned from rebuilding my lily garden, you know, that I shouldn't be afraid to start over after, you know, a major devastation, that I should just power through, you know, make a plan, plant the bulbs, fertilize them, and wait for them to bloom the next year. And that it's going to work that way. And it's the same for my skincare business that I run. You know, that I was afraid to start because I had, you know, all the reasons that I shouldn't, and you don't want to know, there's a whole long list. But I chose to go forward anyway, and I had the opportunity to build something amazing, you know, just like my lovely lilies here. And I may not have had it easy, but I had to fertilize and bloom and hope that they would bloom where I planted them. And I've been lucky that they have. And I wasn't aware at the time that when you plant lilies and bulbs like this, how lovely they're going to be and how many blooms they're going to have and how they're going to continue to grow and bloom in the future, just like my little skincare business has. And that even with a garden, no matter what kind it is, you know, you still have to rebuild things a time or two because you're going to suffer setbacks, and that's just like life as well. But you're going to rebuild when you have the opportunity because it's something that you want, because your garden is going to be full of lovely lilies and it's going to look exactly the way you want, kind of like when you plan your landscaping beds. So if your garden isn't healthy, you know, if it isn't blooming, if it isn't growing, then maybe it's time to rebuild it, or maybe it's been devastated by whatever it happened to be. So if you heard something that resonates with you, or maybe you just like the lilies, no worries. I'd appreciate a little love, or if you had an answer that you'd like to drop in the thread, I'd love to hear it. And if you have any questions about my lily garden or rebuilding yours, oh, thank you, lady, I would be happy to share it with you. Oh, hey, lady, there you are. I finally saw your comment. Sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you. I think they're amazing and stunning and prettier than I expected, but definitely a welcome surprise. So if you heard something that resonates with you or that you might find valuable for your life, leave me a little bit of love. I'd appreciate it. Feel free to drop a comment in the thread or share the video with anyone who might need to hear a positive message. And PM me if you have some questions about the lilies, my lily gardens, or how to rebuild your own personal garden into something that you've always wanted. I don't have all the answers. I don't run around claiming that I do. Oh, thank you, friends, for the love. That is so thoughtful of you. I appreciate that. But I'm happy to share what I've learned and how it's worked for me in the hopes that it helps you. So many, sorry about that. My notes are kind of waving in the wind, but many storms or pests or whatever it happens to be, they're going to pass through your life or, take up residence in your lily garden, and it may destroy your garden or your house or your relationship or whatever it is. And you'll be devastated like I was. But you have a choice. You can be afraid of rebuilding and allow those obstacles to destroy you and your life. Or you can develop the strength and resolve to rebuild your garden. Yourself, your life, your career, relationship, whatever. And you can rebuild it just the way that you want it so that you can be happy, so that you can be successful, so that you can enjoy what you've planted, enjoy the colors that show up unexpectedly, or the variations in colors, or, new bulbs that sprout out and aren't what you ordered, even if that happens. But, and you will enjoy those blooms from year to year. And if you have the chance to build the garden that you always wanted, go for it. Because, these gorgeous lilies here are proof that you can rebuild something the way that you want to make it beautiful again. But it's up to you. I'll catch you later.